We design experiences for humans through architecture. That's why, in the age of AI, when technology is reshaping our lives, have you ever wondered what remains uniquely human about creativity? Today, we'll discover our 4 tales of creativity about how creative work is done by humans, with humans, and for humans. Once upon a time, because this is how a true tale should start. Once upon a time, projects were small, budgets were lean. We discovered that limitations are not our enemies. They're fuel for our most inventive ideas. With almost nothing, we realized everything we needed was already around us, just wanting to be seen anew. We also discovered a creative drive in human relationships.
Tale number 1. MacGyver, the cardboard problem. Ordinary objects, extraordinary solutions. So, does anyone know who MacGyver is? Some of you. Yeah, we're old. MacGyver is a super agent from a TV series from the 80s. He's a guy that fights crime using everyday items that he has at hand. There is a saying that if you give him a paperclip, somehow he will be able to blow up a building. And talking about blowing things up, in our story, usually to trigger an explosion, you need a spark. And in our story, limitation is a spark. Limitation sparks innovation. At the beginning of our office, a client came by, and we were very eager to design something that actually will be built for the first time just after we graduated from university. And the client appeared, and he said that he would like to build a pop-up store, which will make a big impression, but which will be built with almost no resources, low budget. And of course we said yes, we are going to design it. We agreed to meet at our client's office, which actually was a warehouse full of boxes, cardboard boxes. And we looked around and we said, why there are so many boxes here? And he said, well, I'm selling watches, so those watches come with inside those boxes, and then when I'm selling those boxes, I'm sending this to all my clients. And we said, okay, yes. We are supposed to design a pop-up store. Do you know what a pop-up store is? More or less. A pop-up store is a store, a retail space, which is built for weeks, sometimes months, but sometimes even days, to test the market, to create a buzz, to show the product to the audience. So, there were 2 guidelines from our client, that it should be a pop-up store, that the budget was small, but the impression, the impact of the store should be big. And then we thought, yeah, we should do it MacGyver style. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. So we looked at those boxes and we said, okay, so this is your pop-up store. And our client looked very surprised, but also curious. So we told him that we are going to build this pop-up store with cardboard boxes, build the walls out of cardboard boxes, and then to showcase the watches, we will use fish tanks. Fish tanks are quite affordable, and they are in a rectangular shape, so they will fit with the boxes. And this is the outcome. It's very simple, very cheap, and we could build it during one night. So what have we learned? That creativity is MacGyvering, using what you have at hand.
So, tale number 2, the upcycling network, crafting through connections. A designer shoe salesman approached us to design, again, a temporary store. Their brand ethos was sustainable, lasting design, environmentally friendly. This is quite a lot for a temporary shop. And of course, especially if you want to create an interior with such a wow effect that it will outlive the shop itself. Because as you already see, that's how we want to design. Transforming relationships into creative capital. Do you know Container Art in Poznań? It's a cultural venue at Warta Riverside that operates in summer months. So during winter months, it's all closed and all the components are in the warehouse. So it's mainly made out of containers and Euro pallets. And why am I mentioning it? Because in 2012, we were invited to design Container Art. And in the same year, the shoe salesman approached us. And this is when we had this aha moment that we should actually introduce human relationships into the creative process. We convinced good people of Container Art to lend the guy these Euro pallets so that the material is used all day long. Quite sustainable, long-lasting, right? We got a total look. Walls, floors, furniture, everything has been built with these worn-out pallets, with signs of summer parties and with different colors. So they actually became a canvas, a great background for the product. And about displaying the shoes, I guess we can say we just nailed it. The creativity is in upcycling, and the upcycling gets even more interesting if you introduce human relationships.
Tale number 3, Adam and his apples. The best designs come from the simplest ideas. One of our clients, whose name is Adam, came to us and asked us to design a retail store where he would like to sell second-hand Apple products and computers. He worked before with a branding company, and they came with a name for his shop, and this name was Adam's Apples. And it's quite clever, yeah. So he told us that he would like to get a very approachable and affordable design of the shop because he's selling second-hand Apple computers. And as you all know, Apple stores, they are minimalistic, but yet they have this expensive vibe. And we wanted to design something in contrary to this. So we thought about apples, we thought about affordable, approachable, and we connected all the dots, and it struck us. We thought, where do you buy apples? Yeah, you buy them at farmer's market. And that's when it hit us that sometimes solutions are hiding in everyday life. So, inspired by farmer's market, a place which is quite approachable, probably affordable, we picked up all the elements from the fruit stall where you buy apples, and we decided to use paper bags, wooden crates, and a fruit stall itself to design an interior of a store. As you can see, in the middle, we have a fruit wooden stall with apples on it. We have wooden crates with Apple accessories, and we have a wallpaper made out of 1,000 paper bags nailed to the wall and ceiling. So what we have learned, that creativity hides in the simplest connections.
Tale number 4 is called logo logic, brand identity sent into space. So it's quite a challenge to design an offline store of a highly popular online store, to get it into a physical world and get this in-depth experience. It gets even harder if the product is a trendy, colorful sneaker, and it gets even more hard if, like we do usually, you want to get such an effect, such an eye-catcher, that you might overwhelm the product itself. But if you look closely, inspiration can emerge in what your client brings to you with his brief for the first meeting. So even though we're not Houston, we managed to send his brand, his logo into space, because the online store was called Run Colors. They have a shoelace in their logo. So what we basically did, we made the colors run using a shoelace. We created an art installation in a monochromatic gray canvas. As you can see, we operated on a budget as tight as a shoelace. So this is an art installation running through the interior, and it's filled with the product. And to our surprise, pictures of this offline store became wildly popular in online design magazines. Do you see the twist? Online store became offline and then online again. So creativity is sometimes noticing what's in plain sight.
In a nutshell, creativity is MacGyvering, using what you have at hand. Maybe you should look in your pockets. Maybe there's this paper clip. Creativity is connecting people and connecting all the dots. Be interdisciplinary. There are a lot of people in this hall. Talk to them. You will come with something up. Creativity thrives in simplicity. Be observant in daily life. Creativity is noticing what is in plain sight. Look closer, even if something seems obvious. Creativity is human to the bone. The end. And one more thing. Of course, we used AI to prepare this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.